Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. I guess depending on when you're watching this video. My name is Mr. Argueta. I will be the instructor for your course, Principles of Management. So wanted to create a video to sort of prepare you for what to expect during the semester and what the course looks like. If you've never taken a class with me, this will give you an example of what your class structure is going to be set up as and what to expect. A lot of times, this might be your first time doing an online course and you don't know exactly what you're walking into. So I wanted to send this video out. I try to send this video out every class that I teach, sort of give you an idea of what the class is going to feel like throughout the week-by-week basis. So first and foremost, this is an accelerated course in business. So in other words, that means that instead of your traditional 16-week course, we have condensed all the information that you would do in 16 weeks. We're going to do it in 8 weeks. What that looks like is normally we would have 16 weeks to cover about 15 or 16 chapters. In this case, we're going to have essentially only 8 weeks to cover that same material. So you'll have 2 chapters per week. It's not as difficult as it sounds. I think it's just a matter of mentally being prepared that you'll be doing essentially 2 weeks of work in 1 week. All right. That's it. Let's get started. So principles of management in this course that I'm showing you here, they're structured in folders. So as you can tell, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, week 7 will be our last actual work week. Week 8 will be left open for me to grade everything, but the week 8 is really a finals week, which I will post your final grade in. So we will not take our final on week 8. We will actually roll it into week 7. So let me explain to you what this looks like. So the very first thing I would like for you to do is go to where it says start here, as you can see, and under that folder you can also open that up by this little tab that's showing going down. It gives you a few options here, and of course these are folders, as you can tell. The first folder talks about what this course is like, and it gives you what's one of the most important things that you should know is the syllabus. So I'm going to click on that, and the syllabus sort of breaks down what the class is about. So please make sure you go and open the syllabus and know what you're getting into. I will give you a couple highlights in regards to syllabus. This gives you the core competencies, what we're trying to accomplish and what you'll be learning throughout the class. So feel free to sort of look at that when you get a second. Let me make this a little bigger for us. Okay, so it talks about these different areas that we're going to be focusing on in our reading. But I wanted to make sure that we cover a few things. This is a fully online course, so there's no synchronous style classroom, so we're not going to meet at a certain time. The folders that I showed you that are categorized by week will open up every Monday at 12 a.m., which means Sunday night till Monday morning. It will open up at 12 a.m. And then that folder will remain open for an entire week and will close by 11:59 p.m. That's upcoming Sunday. So you have 1 week. You have a solid 1 week to complete all your work that's been assigned to you. I'll show you what that work looks like. So please make sure 2 things: that on Monday you get started and then you'll have to the following Sunday. I highly encourage you not to wait till the weekend to do your work, because you're going to get a bad grade for 2 reasons. One, you need to participate in your discussions early in the week, not at the end of the week. You could reply to your classmates towards the end of the week if you wanted to, but you need to post your original post by Wednesday. Now, I don't want to make this a solid rule where you get a 0, but if I see people waiting till later on in the week, I will deduct your points on discussion. And I want you to pay attention to this, because your discussions are 30% of your overall grade. So if you're not participating, you're going to really hurt your grade very quickly. The other 30% is going to come from the Learn Smart, which is really almost like a a study guide, if you may. It's reading the chapter. You'll learn that the Smart Book or Learn Smart part is sort of automated. So it gives you what you need to read exactly. And then at the end, it'll ask you some questions. And my recommendation is when you go through that process, you state that you know the information because you read through it. If you say, I don't know, it's going to keep giving you more and more. It's an adaptive learning tool, which essentially means that if you say, I don't know this answer, it's going to give you more of those questions. So I've had students who have put, I don't know, and keep answering because it gives you the answer. I don't know because it gives you the answer. So the system never ends. It'll just keep giving you more and more and more and more and more questions. But if you do know the answer, then the system automatically adapts to the fact that you understand it and moves on to the next topic. So be smart about it, okay? Understand how it works. The other 30% is going to be your chapter quizzes and your homework. So make sure that you're keeping up with that. But I want you to see something. And then, of course, the last 10% is going to be your midterm and your final. But I want you to see something here because I want you to understand what I mean by that. Keep in mind, 30% quizzes, Learn Smart discussions. If I go to the grade book and I look at, let's see here. Bear with me for a second. I want to show you if I can find it here, maybe. No. Well, I wanted to explain to you that the categories are very skewed because if you really look at the details of the grades here, for example, there's 14 quizzes and there's 13 homework assignments. So between these two, you're going to get 30% of your overall grade. But there's 5 discussions only. So if you don't do good on 1 or 2 discussions, your grade is drastically going to be impacted. If you don't do good in a quiz, it's not that big of a deal because you really have 27 total things that they're going to grade to accumulate 30% of your grades. But 5 discussions, each discussion is going to be highly valued. So you want to make sure that you are really getting as many points as you can from your discussions. In order to get all the points from your discussions, what you want to do is you want to put your original post, and let me go to what a discussion looks like. You want to go to your original post. So in the first week, we're going to do an introduction. You're going to put an original post down here. You're going to add your introduction. Use this sort of as a topic of information on what to share, but introduce yourself. Now, I don't have a word minimum. I don't put a word minimum, but what's interesting about this, and I should have shown you in another class, but I can't divulge a lot of information. It actually tells me if you guys are actually doing it, or if you're using AI, or if you just copied something. It tells me what your grade level of writing is, the complexity of your sentences. It tells me everything about your discussion. So if your grade level is like a 3rd grade reading standard, I'm going to know that you're not doing this right and you're not answering the questions properly. And I read every discussion. And if your grade level is like a high level sophisticated, I'm going to know that you didn't write that. So please just be true to yourself and to me. I don't want to give you knock points off because you're using artificial intelligence to create a discussion. I do understand you using artificial intelligence like Grammarly and using it to correct your grammar, but don't prompt it because I'm going to know it's going to be simple. It's going to be easy to detect. I'm going to know, and you're not going to get the grade for it. So I'm asking you as politely as I can, let's avoid that situation. So this is what this is going to look like on a week-by-week basis. Week 1, this video, actually, I'm going to email it to you ahead of time, but it's also going to be in this little thing here where you guys can have access to it. And then every week, you're going to have 2 chapters to work on. And of course, they're folders. So if you click on it, you'll see the 3 assignments. So this is that Learn Smart that you're talking about. This is going to be that sort of your chapter reading. And it's not a quiz, but sort of a questioning you if you understand the material, the objectives. And then here's your quizzes, and here's your smart book. This is your homework. Sorry about that. Okay, smart book is the one that I'm talking about, sort of like your chapter reading. And then chapter 2 for the same week, it's going to have the same structure. There's your smart book, there's your homework, and there's your quizzes. So as you see, every week we have 2 quizzes and 2 homeworks and 2 Learn Smarts. So there's a lot to do in 1 week, but you have all week to do it. The only thing that you have to do earlier in the week is this discussion, your original post. So to get full credit, you need to do your original post, which is you posting your stuff. You need to reply to 2 of your classmates. Now, I don't have a word minimum, but I have a content minimum. In other words, there's no way you can have a good discussion with a 1-sentence reply. You will not get credit for that. I feel comfortable saying 1 paragraph. 1 paragraph, 1 solid paragraph will be good. Now, I know you're not going to do a solid paragraph on every reply. That's not what I'm saying. But your post, your original post, should be a solid paragraph. Your replies could be a little more laxed. I get it. But don't give me a 2 words, 3 words. Give me a solid good sentence. Reply to people in a solid good sentence. And then every week I create a video just like this one, and I put it inside of your discussion like everyone else. So you can either search for me here, Argueta, Lena Argueta, or you can just scroll down till you find me, and it's going to be a video like this explaining to you how the week is going, what's going on, and just tell me about life. Tell me what's going on in your life. So in your discussion, to get 100 points, 100% of your points, you need 4 interactions, which is 1, your original post. That's a solid, good paragraph. 2 replies to your classmate. So a reply to a classmate, a reply to another classmate, and then a reply to my video. All right? It has to have 4 interactions. Once again, it's important to keep in mind your original post must be done early in the week because people need to reply to you. And if we all wait to the end, then no one's going to be replying to anyone, and it's going to be a disaster. So I will deduct points for those of you who wait to the end to get your original post in. So quickly, Monday morning, Tuesday, even Wednesday, go in there and do your original post. Then you can go back on the weekend if you want and do all the other assignments. But your discussion is very important that you get that done early. All right? Every week after that looks the same. Week 2, Week 3, same structure, 2 chapters, 1 discussion. And then week 4 is the only one you see some changes in. In week 4, you still have your 2 chapters, but you do not have a discussion because we have our midterm. So you have it within the week. I feel that a discussion will be overwhelming, so I removed that away from there. Then we go to week 5, very similar setup to the 2 chapters, your discussion. Week 6, 2 chapters, your discussion. And then week 7, as I mentioned, will be your final week. You have your 2 chapters and your final no discussion. Okay? So, other than that, I will do a video this week to introduce myself once again and tell you a little more about me. Talk about coffee because I love coffee. Tell you about some things that are happening in my life. And just like I expect sort of you interact. Let's get to know each other. We have these 7 weeks to get to know each other. It's obviously an online platform, so it's a little more challenging, but I think we'll have a good time, and I think you'll enjoy it. I enjoy what I do, and I enjoy reading your posts, so I hope that you enjoy with the process of going through this class with us. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. The best way to reach me is not through a phone number because I'm barely ever in my office. It's going to be through email. I get my email on my phone. I'll be much quicker to reply to you. If you leave me a voicemail, it might be 3, 4, 5 days before I even get to it because I'm not always in this office. My office is located in Dalton. If you needed an appointment and to see me, I'll be more than happy to meet you here. Or I can meet you in one of the other campuses if we need to. But that's about it. I hope you enjoy the class. Take care, guys. I'm looking forward to getting to know you all. Have a great semester. Take care.